Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Kristyna.
And this is our podcast, Let's Chew the Fat. Hello. We are back. And today we're going to talk about, to put it very broadly, our relationship with our bodies and with food. And we're just going to get into that fun topic. But as always, first we're going to look back at this past week. What did we do?
We didn't do a lot. I mean, because we recorded on Sunday.
Right.
Because I was still sick, like, during the weekend. So we recorded on Sunday. And I think we didn't do a lot. I mean, the week went by really fast since we had Monday off.
Yeah, Monday was Easter Monday, so we got that off. Then
but I got worse on Monday again. When did I have the migraine? Was that Monday or was it?
That was Sunday night. That was Sunday evening.
Really?
Yeah. Because then you were home the entire day Monday, remember? Otherwise, you would have had to go to class in the morning. You didn't go to class in the morning.
What do you mean class in the morning?
Well, if you'd had the migraine on Monday night, you would have had to go to class in the morning. You didn't do that.
Yeah, that's why I got, like, worse on Monday. Because like, Sunday evening, I had a horrible migraine. And then the next day, I just, like, laid in my bed all day again because I felt off. So, I don't know. But now that I think about it, I think I might be healthy again. Like, I haven't thought about it because I still felt like a little bit off maybe in the beginning of the week. And now, because we just kept going and going. Like, I don't know how I'll feel on Monday when I go to body class because I think I will, like, start going again. So I don't know how I'll feel because on Thursday when we went to your dad's book event, like, because we were walking so much, I felt it. Like, I felt that I'm not entirely ready. But we'll see.
I mean, you're probably just still a bit weaker, you know?
Yeah. But hopefully, not to jinx it again, but I think I'll be fine.
Yes.
So on Monday, I was in my bed. What did you do? I don't remember.
What did I do?
Wait, I think you were home.
I think I was home. I think I was working. I was working and doing uni stuff and freaking out. Yeah, that was the first. This week has had, like, a nice, like, vibe of us being kind of stressed, but like trying not to be stressed, but then still being subconsciously stressed, because I feel like it always happens this way, that after Semana Santa, I mean, we've experienced it once. I don't know why I'm saying, but after Semana Santa, you get back to class and you realize, oh God, we have like 4 weeks of the semester left. We have so many deadlines, so many projects.
Professors, like, start stressing out.
Exactly.
You know, like, basically, almost every professor this week, they were like, "Oh, we're, like, nearing the end. Oh, we don't have a lot of time left."
And on Monday was the first time that I, like, sat down and tried to, like, organize my life. So I looked at the calendar. Big mistake. And then that, like, fear just kind of, like, turned into a intense productivity, which was nice, I guess, but fueled by stress. Yeah. So I was just home.
And then we had classes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday was very, like, hectic.
It was a Thursday.
I mean, yeah, but, like, in the sense of, like, walking a lot.
True.
Like, we were walking a ton because we went out to film for our TV class again, which we're kind of over.
Very done with it.
Yeah. And we were, like, running back and forth because we don't have a lot of time, and, like, we have to walk somewhere, film, then come back on time so we can, like, give back some of the equipment from school. And then we went to your dad's book event.
Yes. He had, like, an event about his book that he'd written and that had just come out at the Secret Kingdoms bookstore here in Madrid. So we went to see that. I mean, he just talked about, like, his life, or, like, his whole story with writing and how this book came about and everything. And there was snacks, there was wine, there were drinks.
I have to say,
it was super
I had
nice.
an amazing time. I loved it. Like, I think I need to start going to, like, more books events or like authors events. Because I remembered I went to one when I was in New York. It was, like, very random because I wanted to go into the Barnes & Noble bookstore. And then somehow I think I just saw that they're doing an event in one of them when I was there. And I went there and I really liked it. We went to your dad's book event. I loved it. Like, and it was such a nice atmosphere, you know, like, it was, I mean, your dad's hilarious. So, you know, he kept doing jokes. He was talking about his life, books. Then, like you said, there were snacks and wine. And then, of course, I bought books because we were at a bookstore.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there in a while. I don't remember my last time when I was there. So it was a great
But that was, again, hectic because it started at 8. Our class finished at 7:30. So, I mean, it was just adrenaline. But super nice in the end. And then Friday, Well, you had a whole trip in the morning. Also very hectic, yeah. We're just keeping it going.
No. Oh, because on Wednesday, because the thing is I wanted to buy like some sportswear because I needed some pieces. And I think I wanted to go on Wednesday because I didn't go to Body Cross because I didn't feel ready yet. So I was like, I have the afternoon, so I might go. But somehow we were both, I think, extremely tired, right? And so, and so I didn't go. And I went yesterday morning, but we talked about it yesterday, but I was so confused because I woke up a little bit later than usual because we came back late from the books event. But I woke up at like 9 or something, and all of a sudden, it was the whole thing where I had to take the bus. The bus only goes once in half an hour. So like the time was very like tight. And so I went to like a shopping center in Getafe. Then I went to Decathlon. It was all stressful, hectic. And then because we had planned to get together with our group to do the spreadsheets project. Yeah. So I had to run back to be on time because I didn't want to be late.
She came back the same time that Paula came back, basically. And that was, the highlight of our lives. This project is bringing us so much joy. It truly is.
I love it. It doesn't remind me of the statistics and the trauma at all.
At all. The thing, this semester has like a theme. And the theme is that we're supposed to do things, but we don't know what. And we get zero guidance. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is adding to our stress this semester. And the spreadsheet is just a perfect example of that. Yeah. But we got a good amount done. Yeah, we hope it's correct. So I don't
No, we have no idea. But I do feel a little bit better. Yeah, me too. We already started at least on one of the 20 projects we have to do. And then we can just get together again and work on it again. And yeah. So I feel good. And then afterwards, we met up with somebody who had messages on Instagram, I think 2 days before, because she found our podcast. And she actually is from Madrid, but she is studying abroad, also the full degree. Yeah. And so she related to our podcast and she wanted to meet up. And it was amazing. Yeah, because she was here for
the break.
The holiday. Yeah. So she's like, oh, I'm here in Madrid for a week or 2 weeks. So let's meet up. And it was super nice. She was extreme. If you're listening, hi.
Oh yeah, hi.
But it was such an amazing time because we just don't talk to people who are in the same situations as us almost ever.
No.
Right?
No, not really.
So it's always so nice to meet up with somebody who is in the same situation, share our struggles and the ups and downs and
And it was so similar. Everything we talked about, we were all like, yes, me too.
Exactly.
So it was really nice.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. So thank you for inviting us.
True. Thanks.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the end to our week. And now we're here.
Mm-hmm. Main part of this episode, we're going to talk about, like Lauren said, about the relationship with our bodies and relationship with food in general.
And sports, I guess.
Oh, true.
That also kind of ties into that.
Yeah, because it is at least in my life, it's been a huge topic, throughout my entire life, I would say. And I think I don't want to generalize here, but I feel especially because we're girls, it's even more sensitive. Like I said, I don't want to generalize because I know that guys struggle with it too, but I feel
with girls it's I feel almost everybody at some point in their lives, if not everybody friend, I talk to
every sister I talk to, they've all struggled.
So we figured we could talk a bit about that.
So when did you start actively thinking about the relationship with your body? When did it, when did you stop being a kid in a sense and started dealing with this? Do you remember?
I don't really remember. My guess would be probably high school. 16. But I feel I don't want to blame the gym for all of this, but I feel it got the worst when I started going to the gym.
The PE class? In school?
No, the gym too.
You started going to a gym in high school?
No, when I was right after high school, when I was 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I feel it kind of started in high school, maybe with But there it was like more in the sense of kind of starting to think what you eat, you know? You become more aware of that. And you want to make it healthy. And like before I was just eating whatever my mom was putting on the table, and like that was kind of fine, I guess. Actually, that is not true. I am lying. All of this is wrong. No, I think probably when I was like 9. I don't know why I forgot. When I was 9, I remember I was always thinking my biggest issue was always like my legs for some reason. But I always felt like I was chubbier than other people. I felt like when I look back at the pictures, I was not. I don't know what was in my brain.
That's the thing.
But I'm
going to talk about it later, but just to quickly mention, like, looking back, like, you always think something about yourself. And now that I look at the pictures, like, in whatever stage, like, I look back at the pictures, I'm like, why the hell did I think I was not beautiful? You know?
But I feel like, you know, like, that point of your life, like, right before you grow, usually like that's when you're like 9. So it's normal to gain. I mean, it's normal to gain weight on and off throughout life. But I was 9 and I didn't know anything about that. And I felt like I was gaining a little bit of weight, maybe possibly. And I started like freaking out about that. Now looking back, I mean, stupid. I look at pictures, it's stupid. But I think that's when it started, probably right before you have like that growth spurt. Is that a word?
I don't know. But
and it's normal for your body to like change then, you know? And right before you go through God. Yes, thank you. Right before you go through puberty and throughout puberty, like your body's going to change 1,000,000 times because it's going through like a huge change. And I feel like I just didn't think about it rationally at all. I don't know. It's just like you grow up with people always talking about it. I feel like in your family, you know, you have your mother, your grandmother, like all of these other, I think it's mostly women in your family, like also being like self-conscious about their own bodies, and you're growing up and you're listening to these things, like you're listening to them saying like, oh, maybe I should only eat like half a portion today because like I've been gaining a bit weight, or you hear them criticizing their own body. So even when you're like 8, you're 9, you're already thinking about that stuff because it's just all around you. And I feel like that's what at an early age really like impacted me before anything else, just hearing like people around me talk about it and criticizing themselves when I didn't see anything wrong with them, you know? So then I started questioning like if maybe something was wrong with me too, you know? So I think it was that at a young age.
I think for me, it was like having a lot of women like around me throughout my life in general, because I have 3 sisters and my mom and my mom's sister, like my aunt and stuff like that. So I had a lot of women around me. And I remember my mom has always been, I don't want to say like struggling with it, but like dealing with it in a certain way. Because, I mean, my mom gave birth to 4 children. And I mean, she keeps saying that like when she was pregnant with me, in her like, in the like 6th month of pregnancy, like people wouldn't know she's pregnant. And like since, and like she gets, like she's been getting a lot of compliments like that she's beautiful. And now since we're like, her daughters are adults, like she's like, whenever we would meet somebody, they're like, oh no, I thought you're their oldest sister. You know? And like she's gotten used to like this type of, I guess, compliments, or like, and now I think she feels the pressure to like keep up with that. And so then she kind of struggles with it a little bit. And like, it's really interesting to see like the way she thinks about this. And then maybe, for example, like how our generation thinks about it. Because I mean, she has like a group of friends, like women, and they like do stuff all the time, but like they all like deal with that. They're like, if they gain a couple of kilos, they're like, oh no, you know, now I should go on a diet.
Exactly, like the whole diet thing.
Yeah, like the whole diet thing is really big. And I mean, I've been watching my mom ever since I was a kid to like talk about it and be like, oh no, now I don't know, during Christmas, like I ate a lot. And like the way they say it, it's not that they're like, yeah, I ate more, I don't know, sweets than I usually do. But they talk about like I sinned. And I ate, like not in a religious way, but like they use kind of that word to like say that they did something wrong. Yeah. Because they ate maybe some like more unhealthy foods, or because, you know, for Christmas you bake the like Christmas cookies and stuff like
it's normal.
Them. And I just hate that like they talk about it in that way, that it's something like bad and wrong that they did. Like, yeah, they're like, it's holidays, you eat a little bit more, and it's not wrong. Like, maybe then, yeah, go for an extra walk, but just to feel better, not to like lose weight.
And I was gonna say, and like, I feel like it's especially harmful if it's just for the sake of losing health. Like, if you're gonna focus on what you eat, and if you're gonna be like, oh, I ate too many cookies over Christmas, then think about it because it's unhealthy. Like, because it doesn't do your body any good to like eat a lot of sugar. Like, think about it that way, in the sense of you want to take care of your body to keep it like functioning well, you know, to keep everything going that's keeping you alive, not to get a certain look or have a specific type of weight.
Exactly.
But yeah, that for sure. And my, like, I don't know if this is a Swiss thing because I can't figure out like a way to say it in English, but it's basically called like Iss die Hälfte, which means like eat half. I don't know. Maybe it's a Swiss thing. Maybe like, you know, it comes from some diet that was created in Switzerland or something like that. But it's basically to eat like what you would want to eat, but you take that, you cut it in half, and you only eat the half of each portion, basically.
Oh my God.
And that's like been around me for forever. Like they would say that's jokes, but actually eat it. Or like you would go get dinner as a family, maybe like with grandparents, with everybody, you know? And they would be like, oh no, for me only a little bit. I'm doing like Iss die Hälfte.
Oh my God.
Always. That's just for the sake of losing weight, because that doesn't, you know, your body doesn't gain anything in you eating half of it. It's not like you're eating more, like you're getting more nutritions from that.
I feel like the thing is, like, I mean, we could talk about like this specific topic for hours, but how would I say this? Like, medical scientific side of all of this. Like, I specifically remember how my mom used to tell me, like, when we were younger, she would be switching in between like how many meals a day you should eat, because like, you know, there are these theories, you know, either you should eat just like 3 times a day, but
or like a
portions.
Bunch of small ones.
Yeah, and then the episode would be like, no, eat rather smaller portions, but more often, like more frequently during the day. And like, it literally, you know, like it keeps changing. So in these last couple of years, what I did was like, I just forget about all of that, because it just like, people keep, like, scientists keep discovering stuff, and like, you know, and I'm just like, I can't follow these rules. Like, maybe what I try to follow is like not to eat late. Like, I try to eat 2 to 3 hours before I go to sleep, because that makes sense to me, that like your body is digesting, and like it makes it tired. And like, honestly, I do feel like I feel better when I eat like the 2 or 3 hours before I go to bed. I find it easier to fall asleep and stuff like that, which brings me to what I wanted to say, is that what I've been trying to do these last couple of years is just listen to my body and like what it tells me. If I crave a croissant, I'm gonna eat a croissant. If I crave to eat a bunch of fruit, I eat fruit, because, you know, like, they used to tell us that like vegetable and fruits are amazing, we should like eat it a lot, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know, but in fruit there's sugar as well, so you shouldn't eat a lot of it. But I'm just like, you know, I don't care.
No, you can go crazy thinking about that kind of stuff. And that was actually a point that like I wrote down. Like, I feel like I'm kind of doing well now, and I think the reason why I'm doing well with like eating, because I went through like a point where I would just always feel guilty, like with whatever I ate. Like I could never feel like, I was like, oh, this was kind of healthy, but it had this and this, so now I feel bad. Or this was kind of healthy, but I ate too much of it, so now I feel bad. And I feel like this is like, I've gotten to a good point because I've stopped thinking a little bit. Like, obviously, like, I know like I need to eat vegetables and fruit and like that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be eating ice cream 24/7. Although I would love to. But, you know, in that sense. But then everything else, there's so many rules, there's so many sciences, there's so many people saying different things, like especially on social media, I feel like, and a lot of people who, you know, I don't even know if they're qualified, because you can say whatever. So I just feel like I don't think about it that much. I just eat my meals. I try to make sure that there's some vegetables in there, some fruit in there, and that is literally that, because just otherwise I go crazy.
Yeah, I just try to like keep it balanced. But I feel like for me, what made a huge difference was when I moved out of my parents' house to move here, and all of a sudden, like, I am 100% responsible for my diet, for like the way I eat and what I eat, because back home, like, it was so difficult for me now here when I think about it, like what I eat, what I cook, it's like completely different to what I did back home, you know?
Which is super weird, but yeah, me too.
But that gave me like the freedom to explore what I like and to cook things that I like, but maybe are like, I don't want to say the word healthy because like I just eat normal, you know, nothing crazy. So that was a big step for me.
Yeah. Also, when we're talking about our family and stuff, we're obviously not like bashing them.
No, not at all. It's just everybody's like, used to something different. Yeah. And like I said, you learn to like discover what you like and the type of quote unquote diet. I hate that word, but you know, like that you want to like follow and eat. So it's just like.
Yeah. And what about sports? Like what's the connection to that for you?
For me, the thing is, my parents had a rule that when we were kids, we would always have to do a sport, play an instrument, and then I feel like there was a third thing, but I don't remember. Maybe to like have a hobby, like, I don't know if it's called a hobby. Like, we have a word for that in Czech. Like when you go to like every, I don't know, Tuesday, you go on to ceramics to do ceramics or stuff like that. Like it's a
craft, a club.
It's like an activity.
Okay.
Where you go to like regularly, like maybe like with other, you know, you sign up for it somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know. We have a like specific word for that. So we had these rules. So we always had to do a sport, which for me, it wasn't an issue, I don't think, because I've loved doing sports ever since I was a kid. I think we were brought up like that. Even like with my parents, we used to go on like bike trips. We used to do hikes a lot. Like we would go on a vacation in summer to Italy or Austria to like walk in the mountains and stuff like that. So for me, I've just always done a sport. I've done gymnastics, lacrosse, ballet when I was a kid. And now, I mean, it was a little bit difficult because when I was doing lacrosse, like we were doing it not professionally, but like we went
intensively.
Yeah, and we went to a lot of tournaments, and then because we did one European championship and then world championship, I think 2 years after that. So like we had to like train a lot, and it was very intense. They took it extremely seriously. We had like a US coach and stuff like that, and that was really hard for me because we already had 4 practices a week, and on top of that, like we had like some individual plan, they called it, where we had to go for runs, we had to exercise, and that was crazy for me, especially because that environment is so competitive, and I hate that. I realized that also because of being here. Like it took me so much time to actually start liking running because I had trauma from lacrosse and like from those sports, because they do it just like they're trying to push you, I feel like even over your limits, you know, not to make you better, but like over your limits. Like I remember when we had like the summer practice camp, people were throwing up and crying and, you know, like all of that. So yeah, like when I came here, now I'm trying, you know, we did Pilates together last year. This year I'm doing bodycross. I'm trying to like try new things because it's fun for me and I like it.
But just for the fun.
Yeah. Not to like even the running, like when I started like 3 years ago, I still had it in my head as like go for a run so you don't get fat. You know, I was so scared when I stopped doing lacrosse because I needed like to focus on school like for my final exam and stuff like that. And because it was after the World Championship and I didn't see like a future there anymore since I knew I was going to go to Spain. I was so afraid because that was the first time in my life when I didn't do any sport. Like I wouldn't be signed up anywhere where I would be forced to go, you know, regularly. And I was so scared. I was like, I'm going to get so fat. And I remember like thinking, I was like, I have to do sports, you know, because otherwise I will get fat. Like I remember that saying throughout my childhood. I don't know why. I don't know if somebody said it to me or I just
picked it up somehow.
I don't know. So then I was kind of nervous. I was like, what's going to happen? Am I going to get fat? And then I started running. But I did it because I wanted to like stay in shape or something. But now I'm finally like doing sports because I like them. And like I feel good. Like I love going for walks because like I feel good. It's not that I want to stay thin or whatever.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I also always had to do one sport at least. But it was kind of communicated to me in a way of like to stay healthy. Like just, so I never had any issues. Like I did gymnastics, I did kung fu, I did like dance, like I did a bunch of different stuff. And for me, like it was always just like fun and also kind of a social thing. And, you know, like it was fine. The only thing where I feel like it wasn't great was the gym, as I mentioned before, because I feel like I joined the gym because I didn't have any other sport like that I necessarily did or wanted to do or whatever. And at the time it was just difficult because I was working. You know, it's difficult to go to practices and whatever of anything. And so I joined the gym. And for me, like there was no joy in that. Like I understand that some people go to the gym and it's like fun for them and it's good for their mental health or whatever. So they do it because of that. But for me, I think I literally just did it to like stay in shape and to not gain weight because I wasn't doing any other sport anymore. And to just mostly for like how I looked, you know, not for anything else. And I feel like if you do anything simply because of that, like there's no like good outcome. And it brought me no joy. Like I would literally just force myself because I was like, because of like body image type of thing. So that was horrible because I found no joy in that and I did it for the wrong reasons, I feel like. But that was kind of the only thing, I think, because then I quit because I came here. And then now here, like everything's been like fun to me again. You know, like Zumba, I do it because it's fun. Pilates to me was fun. I didn't like need to see any like physical like change in me in order to want to go, in order to like enjoy it. And so I think like it's good again now. But the gym for me was just not like my kind of thing. I feel like, so I did it for the wrong reason.
Gyms scare me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like now that I go to the gym every week because people don't go to body class, so basically I have a personal trainer and he takes me to the gym. But I mean, that is fine because like he guides me through it. Right. So I really like that. And at least I feel like I'm gaining some experience with like being in a gym, but I could never go alone. I don't know. I mean, like in the future someday I want to, just because I feel like it's another thing to like get out of your comfort zone and like, you know, figure out, but maybe in the future. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, it's just such a weird, like I understand why they exist, obviously, but it's just such a weird thing to just have all these people like individually on these, you know, it's like.
I know. It's just, because people do watch each other.
Yeah. I don't know. I never was able to like properly get into it. And for me, it was just stressful because like I wanted to see some change in my body and I didn't see a change in my body. And then
I mean, for me, what has always like been an issue, what I don't like is when I have to come up with like the workout myself, you know, like for example, I used to like exercising according to videos or something, you know, but like to go to the gym, I guess you have to kind of.
But I had a routine given to me. Like really? I had 2 sessions in the beginning where somebody who worked at the gym like walked me through it and like we talked about like why I was at the gym, like what my goals were, how much experience I already had with like that type of stuff, and then like they created this little like routine for me. And then I had like my piece of paper where I could always write the like weights that I put on there. So like if there was progress, I could see the progress and everything. So I did have like a routine set up for me and was like introduced to the gym. But yeah.
Because I guess that's why I like, for example, walks or running, because you just go and walk or run, you know, and you don't have to like come up with anything. Like one more thing that it makes me so sad watching, I guess, people like younger than me like struggle with this so much because I think it's getting worse and worse and worse because of social media. You know, like when we were kids, like social media wasn't a thing, or at least not as maybe like Facebook and stuff, but you know, like not as crazy as today. And like I see my, for example, like younger sister, how much she struggles with it because she sees, and I don't know why, because like I know that like not everything is real on social media. I mean, sometimes I'm still like reminded, I'm like, oh, like I wouldn't have expected it. So then I guess I understand why like younger people don't realize that maybe. But like my sister, like she struggles with it so much, and it just makes me so sad. You know, I'm like, why we as society, like why did we create these issues?
It's such a stupid thing, technically, you know?
It is.
But with social media, yeah, that's true. There's like a lot more room for a comparison, I feel like. Because us growing up, maybe we compared ourselves to other people like in our environment, or like we had a couple of like big celebrities that we saw, but we didn't have like a bunch of people always on social media. Like, and one other thing is like, there's a lot of talk, not only about like physical looks, but I feel like also about health. Like a lot of like what I eat in a day. And then it's like super like perfectly like made plates of vegetables and fruit, and just like, I feel like stuff that's unattainable if you're living a I don't know, normal life with work, school. You know, you can't put that much effort into your food. And I feel like it seems like harmless and like good because technically I guess they're showing people like healthy meal options. But I feel like, again, maybe this is just me, but I feel like if you like put too much thought into what you eat, it's always gonna like spiral into like a bad direction, I feel like. And again, like if you see those videos, all you think about is, oh, like I'm not eating good enough, even though you might be having a perfectly like balanced like meals. You might be having perfectly balanced meals, but they don't look like as pretty, and they don't have like.
But the thing is, I don't even think the people that posted on social media do that. You know, like maybe they pick a day where they are cooking
exactly perfectly. I can't imagine anybody doing that,
right?
No.
Like then they for sure snack during the day, or they don't cook a meal like this every time. You know, they pick one that is aesthetic to post on Instagram or something. I don't know. It's just very sad for me. I just remembered one like other example is when I think 2 years ago maybe, my mom, like she's a director at a school. And like, so then during the summer, like she goes on vacations and stuff like that. And I remember like she gained some weight and she was scared to go to work because she kept saying like people will notice, like people will tell me or something, you know. She was literally like scared to go to work after summer because she was like, I gained, you know, so much weight and stuff like that. I was like, Mom, like this is insane to me, you know?
Yeah.
I just wish everybody would be happy. I mean, I understand that there is like a certain, like we should, you know, you shouldn't eat McDonald's every day because I mean, that's very, and it's not like.
But that's health, you know?
Yeah, that's like health risk.
Yeah. And like your body, like bodies look very differently and they're all healthy. You know what I mean? Like you might be super skinny, but very unhealthy. So like, it doesn't like, I know like my coworker once said like way back when, and that blew my mind at the time, even though it's really very like rational and makes sense. But at the time I was like, wow, this is groundbreaking. But she was like, you literally just fuel your body. It's just like the thing that you live in order to experience life. Like that's all it is. Yeah. And all you need to do is like fuel it, take care of it so you can have the best possible life and experience as much as life as you possibly can. That is it. It doesn't, anything else does not matter. It's just a thing that's carrying you through life.
I mean, my hope for like my younger sister specifically is that like I went through those things as well and I pulled through. I got to a point where I think I'm really comfortable with my body and I don't stress about every little thing that I eat because like this is insane to me, but like 3-4 years ago when I would eat ice cream as a dessert after lunch, I would feel guilty. And I'm like, same. What the hell? You know? So I just hope that she will like get through it as I did, and I'm just trying like to support her and tell her my experience throughout.
It's just sad that everybody needs to get through it. You know? Like why is it this thing that seemingly everybody has to kind of push through to get out at the other side? Such a sad note,
right? No, let's end it so we don't want this to end sad. No,
so we're gonna try to come up with something positive.
No, I just hope that like with like in the future, I hope it will get better, not worse.
Well, to be honest, we were bashing social media, but there's also a lot of good content about it on social media.
That's true. You know, Spencer Barbosa
exactly
is one of the examples. Exactly. Like, I love her. And I always think about, like, she has no idea how much she's helped me, because just like seeing her, you know, like even like 2 years ago when we went on vacation and I took pictures in my swimsuit, I was kind of like turned to the side where you could see my rolls, and I would not post that photo. I was like, no, that, like, I can. And I was like, why the hell? And now I'm like super comfortable with it because I saw it, like, I guess on social media I saw that somebody showed it and said that it's okay. And it is insane to me that I need to hear that from a stranger. Yeah. But I mean, you know, like, she's helped me. I was like, I told my sister, you need to follow her.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And there's a bunch of people like that.
Exactly. There is more stuff like that on social media too, which I guess is helpful then too. It's not just like more damaging stuff. There's also a lot of positive stuff.
For sure.
So that's our positive note that we're going to end this on. Book Club.
I almost forgot again.
Oh God, tragedy.
But I did. So, what have you been reading?
Not much. No, I'm literally still on the same book, probably like 5 pages further down than I was last week.
You know what? When you finish it, you should bring it here and show it on camera, because that book is beautiful.
Aesthetically pleasing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, even if I don't read it and I just have it on my bookshelf, I'm good.
True.
Yeah. So still there. It's called Happy Hour. Mm-hmm. I will let you know once I progress.
Tell them where you got that book from, as usual. Like, no,
Oh, I was like Secret Kingdom. I got it from Chuck Edwards. He said it was good.
I feel like you said almost about every book. I mean, it's great that you have somebody to recommend new books, you know?
Yeah, and usually I agree with him, so it's a good source. What about you?
I finished a book called The Subtweet, or just Subtweet, maybe without the
that was so fast.
I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't think it was that long. It was maybe like 280, 60 pages, something like that. So it wasn't like anything crazy. But somehow, you know what? I don't know when I think I started reading like during the weekend when I finally felt like I can at least read. Yeah. While I was still like not feeling great. And it was like an easily like readable book, but also it had like thick borders on the sides, you know, so the text was even like more narrow. So I guess it wasn't that many words. So it's called Subtweet from Vivek Sharaya. I hope I'm saying it right. I think it's a trans woman, an Indian trans woman, and it was so interesting. Because, I mean, it was, like, from a different culture, like, about different topics that I usually read about. Because it was, like, focused on, I guess, just, like, minor communities.
Minorities?
Thank you, minorities. And it was interesting. But
in India?
No, I think it was based in Canada. But the thing is, it was a book about, like, musicians, singers that were trying to, I don't want to say, like, make it. But, you know, like,
oh, so it's fiction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it just talked about, I mean, like the minority issue and what else? I mean, music industry, literature, and it was just like there wasn't like a big plot, you know. It was about mostly, I think, for women. Yeah, for women, and like they had their stories kind of intertwined. But, like, I read it so fast.
That you don't even remember it.
No. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would recommend the book.
But you enjoyed it?
Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it for sure. I think it was interesting, fun. I read it really fast. But it wasn't anything, like, big one drama. But, I mean, I guess that's what I liked about it. You know?
Yeah,
like it was,
more focus on the characters.
Yeah, and more, like I said, on the, like, minorities.
Right.
And, like, how it even works, like, in between them. How they're, like, struggling. You know, not only, like, for example, Indian people, quote unquote, against like white people, but like even like within
the community.
Exactly. So it was, I feel like for me, like it was even like educational in a way, you know. So I really liked it.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, and then shows, I didn't watch anything either. Did you watch anything?
I finished, well, I feel like I talked about Love is Blind last week because I had to wait a week.
Yeah, you complained about that.
Weddings episode, which I watched last night. I mean, not that many surprises. Like, it's a fourth season, so I kind of already know,
how
what's
works.
coming. But I want to kind of spoil.
Oh. Well,
there were 4 weddings. For people who don't want to know, skip seconds ahead. There were 4 weddings. 3 out of 4 got married, which I feel like might be a record. Maybe not, but I feel like it's like a very high number. So that was cool. And I think they're doing live, like, because the last episode is always a reunion, and usually they pre-recorded, edited, blah blah blah. But now apparently they're doing it live for the first time.
Like they're live streaming.
Yeah, like they I don't know.
But how are they going to put that on Netflix? Or maybe you can see it live somewhere else and then they will put the recorded version on Netflix?
Maybe, because I don't know if I'll be able to... No, I think it's going to be on Netflix because it says even there, like, that it's going to be live. I don't know how exactly it's going to work. I think also the difference is that it's, like, right now. Like, literally, their relationship, their status is right now, whereas... Usually, like, they recorded, and then it's at least maybe, like, 6 months later.
So they just got married in real life, too?
No, I think that happened, like, some time ago. I don't know how long ago. But, like, the difference will be that when they publish the last episode, it's going to be current. It's not like they recorded it, like, a year ago or something, you know? Which is, like, a big difference from...
You don't then have to go to social media to try to figure out if they're still together.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
That's cool.
And what about your song of the week?
I'm so excited. My song of the week is The Kind of Love We Make from Luke Combs. I don't know if I said it right. I think he's a country singer.
Okay.
Which is very out of, how would you say it? Out of my usual genre preferences. And I don't, you know how I discovered the song? Because on Instagram, like, an ad for a playlist on in Spotify popped up.
Oh.
And it was like in the background, it was playing a song. I was like, oh, I kind of like the song. So I went to the playlist. I even saved the playlist.
Wow.
And it's all country.
Songs.
Yeah. And I love this specific, like, I've been vibing to it so, like, it's just like such a great energy.
I feel like I know it, but I'm not 100% 100% sure. 100% sure if it's the song I'm thinking of, but I'll go listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
I hope it wins. I need my song to win already.
Don't. You can't emotionally manipulate the viewers.
What is yours?
Mine is, it's kind of, I didn't have like a new one that I discovered this past week or anything like that. So I went back to a classic. It's just one of my, I would say old time, but it's not that old yet. So it doesn't deserve that title. But it's one of my favorite songs, and it's called Orange Juice by Noah Kahan. I still don't know how to pronounce his last name. But it's from his newest album, and I'm obsessed. Like, I could write my final thesis about this song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, do it.
I was just thinking about it. Honestly, I might. Like, I am obsessed with this song, so that would be my song of the week.
Okay. And now, because I lost again...
Yes. 2 weeks ago, I guess now, we put on our Instagram the song of the week. Kristyna's song of the week was Sugar Sweet by Benson Boone. Mine was Dorothea by Taylor Swift.
I mean, honestly, though, like, if you put a song, the first one was from Miley Cyrus, the second one is from Taylor Swift. So, I mean, you know, there is an advantage there.
And I won, as you can see from Kristyna's reaction. So now I translated the chorus, or what I think, I had a hard time figuring out what the chorus of Dorothea was, but the chorus of it into German, and she's gonna get to read that.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay, you're gonna have a blast. I mean, excuse me? I don't even know how to say. Okay. Es ist nie so spät.
You sound Czech.
I do? Man sett zurückkommen. Die Sterne in deinen Augen schien heller in tu pelo. What the hell is tupelo? Why does
I don't know what tupelo is.
What do you mean you don't know what it is? You translated it. And it's German. You should know, no?
Tupelo?
Yeah. Tupelo.
I'll look at it after.
Und wenn du es jemals leid bist, bekannt zu sein. I would expect some applause. Thank you.
You pronounced the letter the way they pronounce them in Spanish.
Because I didn't know. How do you say J?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the
true.
G, we say G. But you said Augen.
Augen?
Oh, Tupelo. That's just a city in the U.S. That's not a German word.
Okay.
That was well done.
That felt so much better than having to rap.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed her rap from last week.
And I hope...
If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it.
I hope next week I will win.
I would like to read and check.
Okay. Well, then I won't do that. I will give you some hard, difficult...
rapping.
No, we'll see.
All right. So that was it.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you enjoyed. We hope
German reading.
Yes, especially that. We hope you cannot relate to anything we talked about in the main part, honestly. And yeah, we hope you have a nice Sunday, have a nice week.
Mm-hmm. And let us know, again, if you have anything to add to this topic. I don't know how to speak. We've been speaking for an hour now. So.
Yeah.
Just let us know. Share your thoughts on Instagram, on the photo nap. Or, as always, in Spotify, we post a question there.
Which nobody ever answers.
No. So you can start doing that.
Be a pioneer.
Yeah, it literally just pops up like in I think just in Spotify or the Anchor app at like the top of the episode. Something like that. So
honestly, I've never found it, but
I did.
Oh,
you just literally like open the podcast episode, and it's right there. So if you feel like doing that, you can respond there.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
If you want to get in touch, you can find all of our information in the description below.